Hi everyone, my name's Amanda. I am a wife, a mother. I work full time and I just recently decided to go back to school to finish my degree. So I have a busy schedule already and now I'm adding YouTube videos into it. This is my first YouTube video. Yay! So we'll see how this goes. But the reason why I wanted to get into YouTube videos, even though I already have a hectic schedule, is I understand what it's like trying to juggle being a wife, being a mother, working full time, and then trying to get my finances in order, trying to pay all the bills. And really what happens is you just want to get the bill paying over with quickly. I was just going through the motions. Okay, these bills are due. Let me just go ahead and pay the bills, and let me get back to my other duties. And I wasn't paying attention to our finances. And really, what happened was, we just got into this rut where we're living paycheck to paycheck, and it's not a fun place to be in. You don't have any savings, and what I realized is, if I was there at one point, I know there are people that are there living paycheck to paycheck, wondering how they're ever going to get themselves out of it. Excuse me. How they're ever going to start a savings account. And that's the reason why I've decided to pick up the YouTube videos as well. I want to help, wives, mothers, or anyone out there that wants to be able to start saving money and learn and teach everyone how to be able to get yourself on a budget and to be able to start that savings account. And so that's what this YouTube video is about today, is learning to get yourself on a budget. It's a 3-step process in creating your budget. Each step takes a little bit of time, but once it's done, and then you just go on and you track your payments going forward. So let's get started. So the first step in creating your budget is to list all of your expenses. So I recommend going back 3 months at least. If you can go back 6 months, that way you can try to capture some holidays that are in there. I recommend at least 3 months. And so what you do is you pick up all your bank statements over those 3 months. You grab your receipts if you've kept your receipts, anything that you spent on. So your bills, this includes, your mortgage or rent, car payment, gas, any form of transportation if you take the bus. Make sure you include all of that. Your entertainment, don't forget entertainment, the apps you use. You have Netflix, or if you use Amazon Prime, any of that. Personal expenses, so toilet paper, you need clothes, shoes, anything that you spend money on, some of your vices, Starbucks, anything like that. Make sure that you're writing down all of it, and not just what you're spending on, but how much you're spending. So that's why you want to go back 3 months. You want to look at not just what you're spending your money on. You want to see how much you're spending on that item. If you go to Starbucks, 5 days a week, you need to write down what you spent each of those days, every single day for the past 3 months. That way you can see what you spend in that time period on a monthly, and we're going to average it to see, okay, so over 3 months you spent $300 on this particular item. So that would be about $100 a month. So you're either going to learn to budget that, or we're going to pull it back a little bit so you can start creating a savings account, and maybe spending $50 a month on that particular item instead of $100 a month. That way you can pull back, keep that $50 and put into your savings, or transfer it to another area where you need that savings. So we want to make sure you do that for all of your expenses. Write them down. It's going to be an eye-opener. It will definitely be an eye-opener. One of the main things is my husband loves his energy drinks. So when we did this and then we went down and wrote down everything we spend our money on throughout the 3 months, we see Quick Stop, 7-Eleven, Quick Stop, 7-Eleven, and how much money was spent on there. It was astronomical. It was absolutely insane. And so that's one area where we knew we could cut back on. We don't need to take those little convenience store trips all the time. So just little things like that, it'll really be an eye-opener of what you're spending your money on. Because even though it looks like you're spending $3 or $4, here and there, when you write it down throughout the month, it could end up being a crazy number. So keep that in mind. Go through your expenses. It'll really be worth it in the end. Step 2 would be write down all of your reliable income. So that would be from your job if you have a personal business, wherever you get your income from on a monthly basis. And when I say reliable, if you expect a paycheck, that comes in, $100 a month from a particular source, but they're not reliable. Sometimes they pay you, sometimes they don't. I wouldn't include that because that's not a reliable income. That's not something that you can count on every single month. So let's keep up with your reliable income. And if you do get that payment, you can actually budget that just to go straight to your savings account. That way you're not relying on that income every month and it's not going to end up being there. So write down all of your income, and what you should see is that your expenses is less than your income. It is a red flag if it's not. If your expenses are higher than what you're bringing in, what your income is every month, then you are digging yourself into a hole. This is the best place for you to just stop and breathe, and let's take a look at your finances and say, okay, so my expenses are up here and this is how much I'm making. We need to figure out where we can cut that back, so that way we can at least bring you to a neutral level, and then we can start a savings for you. That way you're not constantly digging yourself into a hole. You're not running up that credit card debt and putting yourself in a place where you'll never be able to get back out. And so it's great that you're watching the video now. That way you can learn about your expenses, your income, and see where you stand. Okay, so last and final step would be creating your budget. Now you know where you stand. You can see what your expenses are. You have what your income is. Now it's creating the budget. So the best thing to do is an Excel spreadsheet, or Excel spreadsheet really is the best way. You can do it in Word, you can write it down, but honestly, if you can work Excel, it is the easiest way to do it. If you guys are interested in like a makeshift one that I can create for you and I can post, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I will get that created, and I'll add it to the into a link that I can send out, share with everyone. Okay, so best way to do is, categorize everything. You have your rent, your mortgage here, and then how much budget how much you're going to spend. And then, if that's $1,500 a month, put your $1,500 there. And next would be your car payment. Put your car payment there, or your transportation, your gas. You can include your gas in the transportation category, or you can keep it separate. That is completely up to you and how you want to categorize your expenses. And just go down the list. Entertainment can include, eating out, going to the movies, even though right now I know we're in a pandemic and, going to the movies is not an option. But if you want to budget that out now, go for it. Whatever you don't spend, you can always move that over to the savings. Netflix, anything you watch, any of your apps, your entertainment, your cable, budget that out. Put it in a category. Personal expenses, household expenses, laundry detergent, dish soap, little things like that, deodorant, little things like that. Go ahead and budget them all out, put them on the list, and put how much you're going to spend for each one. Don't forget your food. You want to make sure that your grocery shopping is included. So for a family of 4, we can easily spend, $600 a month here. So I budget out $600 a month. I know I get paid twice a month. So $300 a month is for this shopping, and then when I get paid again, another $300 a month will go for our grocery shopping. We make a list, we go grocery shopping. So budget everything out. If your expenses exceed what your income is, that's where we need to start cutting back. So, if you're going to Starbucks, every day, or you're spending $20 a week on Starbucks, well, let's pull that back. You don't want to go cold turkey, but maybe you can do $10 a week, and then that'll save you $40 a month. So that we can put into savings. You could budget your savings right away and put $100 into savings. So that way, when you get paid, $100 is transferred right over your savings account. It's not included in any of the bills you're planning on paying for. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. Let me know how I can help you create that budget. That would be easier to get you guys on track. I started in a place where I was living paycheck to paycheck, and it is not fun to be paycheck to paycheck and all of a sudden an emergency or an expense comes up, and where am I going to get the money from? I don't have it in savings. I've already spent, my paycheck on bills, food, and gas for this month. What am I going to do for this extra expense? And so the most important part is creating that budget and tracking that budget. So once you create that budget, you're not done there. You need to track your expenses going forward. So if you spent $4 at Starbucks, you need to write that down. $4 at Starbucks. I only have $6 left for the week if you're planning on $10 for the week. So just track that information, write it all down, and you'll be able to stay on budget. So I understand, sometimes we want that instant gratification and we want, oh, I want that now, let's get it now. Well, let's save for it. And sometimes as wife and mothers, it's not us getting that instant gratification, but it's our kids. We see that smile on their faces. Let's just go ahead and get that for them now because I know they're really gonna love it. And my kids are young, and I'm a little guilty of that too, is, oh, I think they're really gonna love it, so let me just get it, but it wasn't in the budget. Well, if it's not in the budget, I've already spent that portion of the budget this month, then they can wait. They don't need that instant gratification. They can learn to save themselves if you wanted to start a little account for them, or if they wanted to learn to do chores and you budgeted that for them, each chore they get so much, then they can learn to work up to that as well and be able to save for something they would like. So just little things like that to be able to learn to budget. If you guys have any questions or any comments for me, go ahead and put it down below. I know it's my first video. I'm still getting used to speaking to my camera and not to an actual live person, so a little new for me. But let me know. My name's Amanda, and I hope to see you next time.